thank you for listening. I want to introduce myself by introducing the people I like. And in some, I and these people would call ourselves conservative. I'll give you a definition, though. Conservative to me means normal. Okay? Normal Americans are conservative by and large. This definition encompasses progressive. If you go to the real meaning, wanting to make progress, well, that is normal American. In fact, it is probably our defining characteristic over the last 2 centuries. Americans almost uniquely would be defined as those who want to change for the better, not stuck in their old ways. Immigrants to America are people who come with the desire to change. And you know what? As soon as they become citizens, or even not citizens, green card holders, and working in the American system, uniquely, they are American. Okay? You can't become a Belgian. You can't become a Guatemalan if you weren't born and grew up there. You can become an American because of your creed, your values. So here are some people whose values I revere. And if you see me running for office, you will know that I carry these values with me, and try to apply them to micro problems that are solvable in office. Walter Williams, my number one. Just passed away, unfortunately. Brandon Straka, Candace Owens, Tucker Carlson, Ben Shapiro, Alan Dershowitz, Laura Ingraham, and most of the time, Bill Maher. Notice, not one is a political leader, because the 535 congressmen and senators are compromised. That is the nature of politics, and it means almost none of them can stay consistently great. Most problems are solved outside of politics, aren't they? Problems used to routinely be solved without regard for government. Only of late, as government officials have wanted to aggrandize much more power, have they taken over the possible solutions that we figure out ourselves. So instead of us deciding whether to close our businesses, deciding whether to space with COVID fears, deciding whether to mask, we're getting commanded. And the command is not that effective because, look, we're not stupid. When people know information that protects themselves and protects those around us, we act pretty well, probably faster than government can act. I closed my business in, I'll give you the date, March 12th of 2020 because of COVID. It was governments that took a week or more later than that. I was wearing face shields, okay, by March 13th. People on their own, no government mandate, were shielding older people from going out, providing them dinners through screens, perhaps, because they wouldn't be touching one another. This was organic, and it probably is the best way to act when there is a dire emergency. What's not the right way? When government, who generally is people who want more power, command things. And that's why a lot of us are recalcitrant. We are anti the government mandate. We're not automatically anti what some officials who might actually be learned are saying, but we know that they are politically compromised. They have an ego that we don't need to feed. We do care about others. In fact, conservatives almost certainly care more, if you could measure it, than liberals. Inventions are made by people who, on their own, not because of government's actions, get better stuff for the rest of humanity, in part because there's a profit motive. That's why the vaccines would have been developed anyway, maybe a little more slowly, but probably more providers than just 4, only 3 that we consider good by the FDA. Face shields would probably be the norm instead of masks, but we heard from Lord Fauci, mask, 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 instead of How about really protecting your eye socket? Those are bigger openings than one's mouth. And yet here comes this command of mask, and once again, because it's a command, a lot of us are recalcitrant. Do it for the right reasons, and we're on board. Thanks for being on board here. Know more about me at stewartforliberty.com.